Good evening.
Hi.
Can I have your mark sheets, please? I'm Kay Welsh and this is David Bradshaw. What's your name?
I'm Laura Fernandez.
Laura. How old are you?
I'm 16 years old.
Thank you. And what's your name?
My name is Claudia Martin.
Claudia. How old are you?
I'm 14 years old.
Thank you. Claudia, where do you live?
I live in Rivas, it's near here, about 30 minutes in car.
Thank you. And Laura, where do you live?
I live in Rivas too.
Thank you. Laura, tell us about a teacher you like.
Of my school, for example, I like my language teacher because she is so funny. She always tell us about his life, and I like.
And Claudia, how often do you use a mobile phone?
I use my mobile phone every day, like 2 hours, to see films or to chat with friends.
Laura, which time of year do you like the most?
I like summer because we don't have high school and we can go to the beach or to the village.
Okay. And Claudia, which do you like best, the morning or the afternoon?
I prefer the afternoon because in the morning I'm tired and angry, and in the afternoon I'm more happy.
Laura, tell us about sports you like.
I like run. When I'm running, I'm happy and I don't think about anything, so I like it.
Claudia, what type of music do you like listening to?
I like to hear all types of music, like pop, in English, in Spanish, because depends of the moment, I prefer some music than others.
And Laura, tell us what you do in the school holidays.
Well, in these holidays, I can go out of Madrid, so I stay in my house and I met with friends and things like that.
Claudia, what new hobby would you like to try?
I want to try different sports like volleyball or something like that, because I always do the same sport and I want to try other ones.
Thank you. Now I'd like each of you to talk on your own about something. I'm going to give each of you a photograph and I'd like you to talk about it. Laura, here is your photograph. It shows someone learning how to do something. Claudia, you just listen.
Okay.
Laura, please tell us what you can see in the photograph.
In this photograph, I can see two girls are cooking. They are on the kitchen of a house, and they are looking for a photography in the table, in the tablet, and they are doing things with an egg and with flour, and
talk about the people.
One of the girls is wearing a t-shirt and blue jeans, and the other is wearing a dress.
Thank you.
Okay.
Claudia, here is your photograph. It shows someone at home after school.
Okay.
Okay. Laura, you just listen. Claudia, please tell us what you can see in the photograph.
I can see a boy that he came from school and he wants to see a football match. He's in his house. He's wearing a white t-shirt, and I think he's very excited of the match. I can see in the table some decoration and electronics dispositives, and in the TV, behind the TV, I can see some more dispositives and that. I think this is a piano, I think, in his house, and he can be in his living room. He is sitting in the sofa.
Thank you. Now, in this part of the test, you're going to talk about something together for about 2 minutes. I'm going to describe a situation to you. Some students from a small village school are going on a trip to their capital city. Here are some activities they could do there. Talk together about the different activities they could do in their capital city and say which would be most interesting. All right?
Okay.
Now, talk together.
I think they are thinking about many different activities, but I prefer, I think this, because it's going to be so, and I love animals, and if I were in this high school, I want to do that activity.
Well, I think for me that the most important is go to the museum, because you can see a lot of interesting pictures or sculpture about the city, and I like this activity.
I'm agree with you, and I think this activity, that the bus of the city, it can be entertaining, because you can know your city or other cities with your friends, and it could be interesting.
I like this one too. They are watching a match, and I think it can be a option that it can be very funny to stay with your friends.
I think the same. I think the match, it could be the best option, because it's a funny activity, and more if you were with your high school and your friends. And the worst activity, I think, could be this, because I think a castle can be boring sometimes.
Yes, I agree with you. I like this one because I think that visit a market, it can be very interesting, because you can learn new things about the other city, and it can be very interesting.
Yes, and you can buy something for your family and your friends to give after the trip. But I think the best option is the match of football or of basketball, or of, if you want, baseball.
Yes, I'm agree with you.
Thank you. Claudia, would you like to have more school trips?
I want to have more, because in my high school they don't do any trips, so I want to do more.
Where would you like to go?
I like to go to the attraction park, because one day I went to, and I want to repeat, because it's an interesting experience.
And how about you, Laura?
My high school don't do any trip, so I want to go to the city center to stay with friends.
And what do you need to take when you go on a trip?
My phone, money, because if I want to buy anything, I need the money. A jacket, and this, and food.
And how about you, Claudia?
I think the mobile is important to contact with something, it happens something. Food, a bottle of water, money, and some jacket if it's cold.
Do you prefer to go on trips with your friends or your family?
I like to go with both, with friends and family, because it's a funny experience, and I love both.
Do you agree, Laura?
Yes.
And Laura, what do you think is the best time of year to visit a city?
I like Christmas, because I think it's magic.
Mhm. And how about you, Claudia?
I prefer spring because it's more colorful, the flowers are like that, and the weather is better than in summer or in winter.
Mhm. And Laura, which do you think is more interesting, visiting the countryside or visiting a city?
I like the city because for me it's more interesting
Why?
because I can go shopping with my friends and go to the park, for example.
Mhm. What about you, Claudia?
I prefer the city because you can know a story of the city and like that, but I also like the countryside, like the beach or the forests, because they are beautiful too.
Well, thank you. That is the end of the test.